hold on to your hats. It's time for Early American Theater. In this unit, we will not only learn how American theater began and developed, but we will also find out how theater shaped who we are as Americans. How does the art of theater define who we are? We will take a look at the pioneers of American theater and see how they shaped the art of theater as well as the American character. We'll take a look at how the American melodrama reflected a dynamic and rough-hewn culture. We will see how America's stature in world theater grew with the increasing respect that American actors received. And finally, we'll consider the emerging art of play directing, and how this art form was well suited to our national character. The earliest records of theater in America reflects what we already know about the struggle theater experienced throughout its history. Theater's birth and resurrection has always been fraught with conflict. This early record is a perfect example of theater's often inauspicious development. The earliest record of a play being produced in the new world called America came in the colonial year of 1665. To put this into perspective, this was just under a century after the construction of the first permanent theater built in England by James Burbage. The play was entitled Ye Bear and Ye Cub. It was written by William Darcy and performed in a tavern by two actors. The record we have of this earliest performance was a court document that records the arrest of the three men involved in the event. Once again, the Puritan influence that was at odds with theater during Shakespeare's time had now immigrated to America, where their intent was to create a utopia far from the evils that they fought against in England. The performance of Ye Bear and Ye Cub shocked the local residents, and they had the local authorities take action. Fortunately for the artist involved, the judge found no cause to hold the early American thespians for their performance and dismissed the case. With this dubious introduction, American theater began its nearly 350-year journey. Like the new country itself, American theater was built by rugged pioneers who crafted theater in a virtual wilderness. Naturally, American theater in the pre-revolutionary period was the same theater that was being performed in England during this time. In 1752, the first significant professional company in America had as dramatic a story to tell as any playwright could devise. A failed London theatrical producer by the name of William Hallam decided to send to America his theater company that was made up of his brother Louis, Louis's wife Sarah, three of their children, and others from the bankrupt company, to see if he could recoup his losses there. The enterprising company boarded a ship called the Charming Sally and sailed to the new land. They arrived in Virginia and had a relatively successful tour on the American mainland. Then they departed for Jamaica to tap a new audience there. Tragedy struck the company when, upon arriving in Jamaica, the company leader, Louis Hallam, died. This seemed to have been further complicated by the fact that another theater company, headed by a producer by the name of David Douglas, had arrived in Jamaica at the same time. In a true enterprising spirit, however, the companies decided to join forces and continue as a single company. In fact, the widow Hallam married David Douglas, and when they returned to the mainland in 1758, the company enjoyed a long run of success until the Revolutionary War ended all theatrical activities. It wasn't until 1787 that the American theater saw a play written by an American-born playwright professionally produced on the stage. That play was The Contrast, and it was written by a lawyer by the name of Royal Tyler. Tyler received his law degree after he graduated from both Yale and Harvard in the same year, 1776. The Contrast was a comedy that was obviously influenced by a popular British play entitled The School for Scandal. Tyler's play, however, had a distinctly American twist. The contrast of the title was a comparison between two characters, a British dandy by the name of Billy Dimple, and two American types, Colonel Manley, the manly American romantic type, and Manley's servant, Jonathan Plowboy. With this play, we see two developments in American theater. First, we see in the character of Jonathan Plowboy the introduction of a well-known American stock character known as the Stage Yankee. Secondly, although the play is a comedy based on its British model, we see all of the earmarks of a genre that is adopted and embraced by the Americans throughout the 19th century: melodrama. We will take a look at the development of melodrama as a popular American genre of theater in the next section. For now, go to your task for this section and complete. See you next time.